The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Stay 50, stay 50.
Now a 1st down throw. Stafford out to the flat for Riddick. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down. A shotgun snap for Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a 1st down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So line of scrimmage, still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now it's Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
No, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason.
Watch it now, Barney.
Now an Eastern Michigan man, Darius Jackson on the carry. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Over. No. Check. Patriot. Watch it now, Barney.
On the ground, this is Jackson. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Detroit!
Throwing, Osweiler. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Christian Jones with a big-time sack on 3rd down, and it'll be a loss of 7. So on 4th down, here's Marquette King to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is taken at the 15. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and short. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. The quick slant, good for 8 and a first. Off of play action. Here's Stafford. Looking downfield for Jones. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. It's a big play there for the Lions. 54 yards. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so. And one of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you can darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play with my best back right now.
They'll go to Blunt, try and pound it in. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air? And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Nick Bottom, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions add on to their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him.
Over, over,
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Nevin Lawson there on the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
And they'll run it here. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up a third down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They go play action now. Osweiler. Got him in. He finds Sanders. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big third down conversion with a gain of 28.
Watching now, Barney.
Now they try the right side here. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
On second down, Osweiler. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Watching now, Barney.
Play action. Now Osweiler. He's going to launch this thing way downfield, and it's intercepted. It's the 2014 NFL interception leader, Glover Quinn. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. After the interception, here's Stafford. He hits Riddick underneath. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. They'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And they work this out past the 25. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
A couple of first downs, has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Stafford on 1st down. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Out of the gun, Stafford. Jones has it. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Throwing is Stafford, and he fires one that's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral it down near the 11-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Gun! 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 All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now they'll run it on the toss. They give them 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
What we're seeing from the defense here is a group of guys bearing down, trying to help out their quarterback after he threw an interception. Good stops on the first 2 downs. It brings up a key 3rd down.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Now it's Jackson, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. A great play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Broncos have cut it to within a score. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And Detroit getting set to go now. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a 1st down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. From the 50, Stafford. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for him.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes...
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Derek Wolfe in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. It's a 7-yard gain that gets him back to the original line of scrimmage, 3rd and 10.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number 1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
On first down, it's Stafford. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They'll get 6 on the play, and it's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. The Lions on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 4.
Big 20, big 20.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. LeGarrette Blount, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. Now Prater to add the PAT. Prater for the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. It's a foot race. The 40, the 30, 10, and all the way home for a Broncos score. DeAndrew White, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Broncos draw a bit closer.
That was a special return, and it happened Because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times where they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
So let's try this again. After the kick return, TD, here's yet another kickoff. This will be taken short. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Lions off out there. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match than a football game. Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On 1st and 10, Stafford connects it to Roberts, right side. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. From the gun, here's Stafford. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
And they'll go on the ground. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Lions have recovered.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? They dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. Following the fumble recovery, Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this 1st half. Stafford now closing in on a 200-yard 1st half through the air. It's 1st and 10.
21. Hey, 22.
Operating from the gun. Stafford got his man complete over the middle. That's Jones. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Need one. 48. 22.
Again, it's Stafford. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Michael Roberts in the final seconds of the first half. And the Lions add on to their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And coming out now, the Broncos. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Now let's go.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it now. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, second and 10. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Just run, fella, just run. That's it, baby.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Off the play fake. Here's Osweiler. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. First possession of the third quarter, and interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Hey, give me that. I need it. I think you're right there.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Set. Waiting. Back 57. Ready.
To throw again. Stafford. Jones breaking from the contact. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. Give him 30 yards there.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
Well, big man with the ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? They come out here in the eye. Now a carry for Blunt. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain on the play that time. So a big stop, and it's going to leave him with a 4th and goal. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field. But they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. So the Broncos come. Out now.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. They go play action here on 1st down. Sanders has it over the middle. A huge play there for Denver. 59 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
And now a throw on 1st. It's down there, but it's incomplete. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Here's Kelly to throw again. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
And the coach has decided to challenge this play. He has tossed down the red flag. Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Now, Barney.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. From the gun, Kelly keeps himself upright. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
Yeah, very smart play right there. Pocket collapsing around him. Love the way he moved around a little bit and avoided the sack.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. It's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give him some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on third down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. A big boot that time, 57 yards the official distance. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first and 10.
Over! Watching that, Barney!
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Room to run again. And down to the 19-yard line. 34 yards there and a first down.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him. But don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. They'll run it with Jackson. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Detroit! Watching that, Barney!
On the run, this is Jackson. And able to work his way down to the 16. Call it an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be third down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Watching that, Barney!
To throw on third down. Kelly. This is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. As his guys are in for 6. And the Broncos have cut it to within a score. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. That last touchdown has made this really tight. They're clinging now to this slim lead. Second half, they only have a field goal. This offense needs to kick it into gear.
And right now, I'm looking directly at the field general, at the quarterback. Because to me, he's got to take over right now. By word, pumping his team up, and then, of course, by deed with his play. My high school coach used to say that all the time. Laddie, take over by word and deed.
And deed means action.
Exactly.
On first down, Stafford here. Letting one go deep for Roberts. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error. That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Watch it now, Barney.
A play fake. Now Kelly sliding out of the pocket. And he'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A gain of 32 that time. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. He lost 6 there on the first down play. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
He just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Over! Watch it now, Barney. Watch it now, Barney. Detroit!
Play action, it's Kelly. He sets to fire deep. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. A big play there with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Broncos have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. Extra point from McManus is good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And Detroit getting set to go now. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Roberts got it. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
The completion to Ritter. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it 2nd down.
Real right, 22.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Now, Barney! Now let's go! 3-19!
Kelly, off play action. Kelly stripped. The ball is free, and the Lions have recovered.
I know when you're looking at the scoreboard clock, we're getting near the end of this game, but they were in what was really called 4-minute offense, and that's practice, taking care of the football, taking time off the clock, not giving them a chance to come back. But bottom line is, what did I say in the beginning? Taking care of the football. That didn't happen.
Didn't do it. A costly turnover. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on first. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Nick Bawden, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Lions have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. Time for a break. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. And Denver getting set to take the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. So you can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense. But when you turn it over, it changes momentum. And when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
Detroit! Watch it now, Barney!
And it's a fumble. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Watch it now, Barney!
He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Glover Quinn. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. So that right there was his second pick, but keep in mind, this is a guy who once had a rare 3-interception game in his career.
So what are you saying, that getting 2 in a game, that's like kid stuff for him? That's nothing. He's already
Amateur
done that,
hour.
right? Been there, done that. You know he wants a third again.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Now Riddick. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here. as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. They go back to Riddick. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's third down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Here's Riddick. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. It'll go as a gain of 9, and that should write an ending to this one.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And the Lions will take the knee here with victory in the cards.
Hurry up, get set.
Stafford down to a knee, and with it, he's going to ensure his guys a victory. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Lions, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for Denver, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll be off to Oakland next week for a date with the Raiders. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.